conviction for his beliefs, and he has compassion for people. He's just a great citizen, and he's been a great leader of the community, and that's why I think he would be an outstanding U.S. Senator. Monti Moreno.
Thank you, Bridget. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out tonight. If I seem a little disrupted, all of my notes from my speech tonight were deleted not long ago. So, had to put it together on paper, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and get this thing started. We'll kick it off right. My name is Monti Moreno, and tonight I am announcing officially to run for the United States Senate. We need some changes in Washington, and I think I'm just the guy to make it happen. There was a gentleman named Dr. Frank Luntz who did a study not long ago, over 3,000 people. And what they wanted to find out was, how do the American people actually feel? This study was done with 10 different statements on a single piece of paper, and was asked, which one of these statements do you most agree with? 78% of the people picked one statement. And that one statement was, I'm mad as hell and I ain't going to take it any longer. And that's the way a lot of people in America feel, but they don't have an active way to be able to do something about it. And I, Monti Moreno, am that person for the voice for the people who are feeling disgruntled in this world. We can start out with the economy and with jobs. Right now, our economy's changed tremendously over the last 5 years since Al Franken's been in office. And that is the seat I will be sitting in. Right now there's over 50 million people on food stamps, and I have to believe the majority of those people would rather be working than not. When you look at it, more people are out of the American workforce right now, as a percentage for sure, and body-wise by about 20 million more than have ever been out of work in the American system before. But it's real difficult, you know, when you're looking at society, when you have an administration in Washington that is curtailing and stopping the forward movement to jobs. In South Carolina, they are a right-to-work state, and Boeing built a new plant down there. In the new plant would address and bring forth 40,000 new jobs. But because they were not union jobs, the president has put a veto on it and has stopped Boeing from filling the plant. Even though the plant is completely paid for and built, they can actually employ the 40,000 people. But let's move on a little further. Let's go to actual jobs that are union jobs. The Keystone XL pipeline, which would run from Canada into America, bringing basically still foreign oil, but you're not having to put it in a tanker ship and bring it across the seas. It would employ, by building it, 140,000 new jobs, and the vast majority of them are all union jobs. None of those jobs are being addressed. None of those jobs are being brought forth. And the reason that they're not being brought out is because the environmentalists. The environmentalists want to stop oil, which is increasing your cost of gas. When you think about it, 5 years ago, when Al Franken became our current U.S. Senator, gas prices were $1.78 a gallon. Today, they're approximately $3.50 a gallon. It has doubled. It has gone up 100% since he's come into office. Now, my question is, which one of you, how many of you have your incomes increased by 100% since he's taken office in that time? Just show of hands, anybody. I have not met anyone who's done that yet. Maybe some Wall Street people, some fat cats, but I actually haven't met that individual. So when you're looking at that, so the Keystone XL pipeline will bring 140,000 jobs. Now we're looking at the Gulf of Mexico. Now in the Gulf of Mexico, you also have a similar situation where there was an accident down there. Some American men were killed. I mean, it's an absolute tragedy, but accidents happen. The courts ruled it was an accident and told them, go ahead, start pumping and building again down in the Gulf and pumping American crude. Our current administration in Washington said no, put a veto on it, and is now taking the 44,000 jobs, which are all high-paying jobs, and those people today are all on food stamps. Their lives have been destroyed. It's not just the 44,000 jobs, it's their wives, it's their children, it's their family. It's all the other people that go with it that starts affecting a lot of people's lives. So that's 44,000 jobs, and these jobs could be put together almost overnight, just with the working of a pen. Now you talk about the Alaska oil pipeline. You know, there's a lot of crude, there's a lot of oil in Alaska, but my question is, how much of it is being pumped? Zero. Right now the Alaska oil pipeline has been shut down. It's been shut down and not a drop of oil is flowing through it. And a lot of that oil was actually being used for imports, but it doesn't matter. They're still American jobs, and they are all out of business as well. Now, when we look at coal and other energy, last year in the year 2012, there were more coal plants, energy-producing coal energy plants that actually produce electricity for Americans were shut down, a record number in 2012. And you will see your energy costs rising to the tune of 17% by the end of this year because those plants are shut down. The amount of people put out of work with that happening were an additional 17,000. And again, I apologize, I don't have all the numbers because all my numbers were eradicated today. But 17,000 jobs were lost there. And right now, and that was more than any time in U.S. history, and right now, for this year, starting right now for the next 12 months, our federal government is planning on shutting down an additional 250 coal-powered electricity plants, which will increase your energy in about 1 year to the point where it's almost double what you're paying today. And so my question is, how many people are going to be able to afford their energy bills, their electric costs, to run their automobiles and otherwise? It's going to become real difficult. And at the same time our energy costs have doubled, the workforce is less, there's actually less oil being consumed. Less oil is actually being used. And the only reason our gas prices are as low as they are, and you say low as they are, is because of the oil wildcatters out in North Dakota and other places, and there's another field down in Texas where they're actually pumping crude. And so they're increasing America's supply of oil. And I believe America needs to be energy independent. We do not have to be having a situation where the tail is wagging the dog. And that's what we're seeing in the Middle East right now with the situation with Syria. Syria has a desperate situation. It's absolutely tragic. But there is not an American interest there. There is a civil war going on. People are dying. Am I happy about it? No. Are you happy about it? No. That being said, if America goes ahead and steps in and actually bombs Syria, nobody is talking about the repercussion for you, the American citizen, the American people here. What happens if they attack, if America bombs Syria, and they say there'll be no boots on the ground. They'll just drop bombs on certain places. Well, number one, the Russians are bringing troops in. They have troops on the ground. They also have the Navy right outside the Syrian coast. They fuel up there, multiple ships per day. And in attacking Syria, what happens is Syria then said they will attack Israel, and at the same time, Iran also said they would attack Israel. Then we had Russia stating that in America attacking Syria, they would attack Saudi Arabia, which is a Gulf oil state friendly to America that sells crude to America. Now, in the process of this happening, the oil prices for you and I are going to skyrocket. It's going to be seemingly overnight.